about my favorite subject, death and life after death. A lot of people say that's baloney. And I tell them, BS. That's your problem. You'll be pleasantly surprised. When you come on the other side, I will give you a karate chop and remind you of your own stupidity and your own narrow-mindedness. A lot of people say if you talk to people who pass before you that sacrilegious and all that religious baloney, and I tell them, you're so religious, you pray, don't you? They said, yes, every night. I said, to whom do you talk? To Jesus. I said, how long ago did he die? 2,000 years ago, and you talk to the dead. Death, for me, is a graduation. When you finish your work on earth, then you can finally go back home. And then you become a butterfly. You shed your physical body, that's a cocoon, and then you take off and go down to all the galaxies. And I can't wait for it. But the first day of my funeral, they have to celebrate. I'm going to have a big party. You can even get drunk on whiskey sour and good red wine. And celebrate that I'm finally able to take off. Everybody can smoke, everybody can drink, everybody can dance, everybody can do anything they want. Then they can go home and cry if they want to. I will not look.
Supposing, just imagine that we pick up the New York Times tomorrow morning and there's this massive headline, science proves that life doesn't end with death. What would it do to us? I think that we're so used to this terror of death and this clinging to this immediate life that it would take a long time to settle down because the change is subtle and profound.
If we were convinced that immortality was a fact, it would take the pressure off. It would help us to escape this sense of desperation, that this is all there is. And I think that with this would come a feeling of serenity and peace and tranquility that would be translated into the world. I think we would be less inclined to be at each other's throats in this existence.
It becomes a much more humane society across the board. And you don't need to struggle constantly for the biggest power and the most toys, because ultimately we're part of a very long continuum. And this is only seen as a snapshot. And while you're here during this snapshot, you should probably be kinder to people.
My surmise about what will happen to me after I die is that my consciousness will indeed end, that no soul will ascend to heaven, that there will be no real communication between me and anybody who loved me. There are lots of times in life that I have predicted something and wished that I was going to be wrong, but none in which I more devoutly wish that I'm wrong than this one.
I fear about the process of becoming dead, but not the process of being dead, because that's just a translation or a transition to another existence. I know that my son is alive. I know it's not a hallucination. He's just gone on to another place, a place that I'll go, that I'll see him again. I will. I know I will.
I think Uncle Joey is in heaven because he wouldn't have been smiling at me if he wasn't, or he wouldn't have been happy.
If you realize there's an after and that love is the vehicle that keeps us in touch, then that tells you, I think, a lot about what love is for in this life. And that love survives death. And I really believe it does.
especially when there's a strong love. It never dies. It never dies.
And of course, I'm not afraid of death anymore either. I'm not afraid of it at all. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not in a hurry for it now because I've got too many interesting things going on. But I am looking forward to it. And my mother's looking forward to seeing me, too.
I've learned that death and the grave is not an end to anything. Maybe it's just the beginning.
I think that considering these questions is what makes us human, is the definition of the human, and this is what I mean by the fact that we are spiritually intelligent creatures. Human beings are defined as the creatures who ask ultimate questions. We need to know the meaning of things. We need to know why we are here. We need to know what it means that we are here. We need to know what it means that we are going to die. But the tragedy of the individual death aside, death is a part of the process of life. It's another stage we go on to. And when you reframe human life like that, you see us as part of the context of the whole history of the universe. Our bodies are made out of stardust. Our minds follow the same laws and principles that bind the stars together. We're part of this wonderful cosmic drama. Death is part of the wonderful cosmic drama.